Max Verstappen took a convincing pole position for Red Bull at the Spanish Grand Prix amid several shock exits in a wild qualifying session. The World Championship leader maintained his impressive form to top the timesheets with a 1:12.272 at Barcelona and was able to abort his final flying lap with no other driver was capable of beating his first effort. Carlos Sainz will start his home Grand Prix on the front row for Ferrari, while Lando Norris took a surprise third for McLaren. Gasly finished fourth for Alpine, but was later demoted 6 places for twice impeding other cars during a frantic and highly entertaining qualifying session. Having momentarily appeared in position to contend for pole position after topping Q1, Lewis Hamilton could only manage fourth after Gasly's demotion in his upgraded Mercedes. Lance Stroll claimed fifth to out-qualify Aston Martin teammate Alonso for the first time as the Spaniard came eighth after being hindered by floor damage which he suffered in Q1. The only consolation for Alpine was that Gasly's teammate Esteban Ocon was one of the beneficiaries from the demotion, while Haas's Nico Hülkenberg and McLaren's Oscar Piastri also moved up a place to 7th and 9th respectively. Rain at the start of the session created challenging conditions, with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc making a shock Q1 exit before Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez went out in Q2 as his championship charge continued to fade. George Russell also exited with struggles with tyre temperature and was involved in a dangerous collision with Mercedes teammate Hamilton. After heavy rain had fallen during the final practice earlier on Saturday, qualifying began with very light showers over the pit lane and paddock. The track was already dry enough for slick tyres, but also damp and greasy enough to deliver a chaotic session. Several cars went off track in the opening stages with a boundary butter spin, prompting a red flag to allow gravel to be cleared from the surface. Among those to go off was Alonso, whose Aston Martin repeatedly tried to repair his fall throughout the session, but appeared unable to restore it to full functionality. With the rain delays during the minute delay following the red flag, the track got rapidly improving, but the session resumed, but it remained a challenge for drivers to get temperature into their tyres. As a result, there was a frantic finish with drivers attempts to improve. Leclerc considered to be one of the fastest over one lap, couldn't do it and finished 19th. Perez, whose form has dropped off since he appeared to ignite a title challenge with a victory in Azerbaijan last month, narrowly escaped Q1 exit, but went off in the grab when under pressure in the closing stage of Q2, ruining his tyres and consigning into 11th on the grid. There was great contrast between the performance of the Red Bull drivers, with Verstappen's perfectly positioned to extend his 39-point lead at the top of the World Championship. A third successive title for the Dutchman is now seen as inevitable. Verstappen's pace during practice suggests he will be equally dominant on Sunday, when he will be the clear favourite to extend his lead and Red Bull streak of win, with the biggest threat likely to come from the weather once more. There was also a major contrast in the performance of the Mercedes drivers, with Hamilton impressing as Russell struggled. In what was a crucial weekend for Mercedes, they debuted significant upgrades to the W14. Hamilton appeared to be Verstappen's closest challenger for much of the session. Russell then through Q1 and was unable to find a pace to advance through Q2 as he struggled with tyre temperature and balancing. To compound a miserable afternoon for Russell, he drove into Hamilton and could be punished for impeding his teammate as they made contact at the high speed approaching the fast corner. Mercedes explained the miscommunication with the driver unaware that each of them were on the fast flying laps. Hamilton had already recovered a strong enough lap to reach Q3, but suffered a broken front wing, which team principal Toto Wolff said could have contributed to a slight drop off. Russell was then given a formal warning, but luckily for him avoided a grid penalty. But before I go, moving on to the final classification, Max Verstappen on pole. Yeah, he was just dominant here. Max Verstappen at his best, and yeah, in that car there was no stopping him. Sainz in second, pulled out a really good lap at the end to get a front row start. For Norris in third, great performance as well from him. I don't really know where it came from. Will be tough for him to hold on to that position, but yeah, definitely one of the stars of qualifying. Then you got Hamilton fourth. I think a bit disappointed not to get on the front row, but I think with the race pace of that Mercedes, which seems to be stronger than qualifying pace, he can definitely be confident of his podium tomorrow. And then you got Stroll fifth, Ocon sixth. Yeah, good job from Stroll to out-qualify Alonso even with the damage. Ocon 6, maybe didn't quite have the pace of Gasly, but still is in a higher position and can definitely do something from there. Hülkenberg 7th, one of the stars of qualifying for me as well. Hugely impressive performance for him. Then you got Alonso in 8th and Piastri in 9th. I think Alonso will be disappointed with the floor damage, but I think he can still have a very good result tomorrow. Piastri in 9th, I don't know, he seemed to have really good pace, but then just dropped off a bit in Q3, which is a bit disappointing. Gasly will be gutted with those 2 errors because he was rapid here, but you know, Alpine still do have solid pace tomorrow. But yeah, you feel like that can make a big difference. Then you got Perez in 11th, Russell in 12th, just really poor qualifying sessions for both, nowhere near their teammates. Hugely disappointed, especially for Perez, whose title charge is coming apart very quickly. Zhou 13th and De Vries 14th, so I think they'll both be happy to out-qualify their teammates on the road below. And yeah, that kind of seems to be about the pace of those 2 cars at the moment. Then you got Magnussen 17th, really disappointing qualifying session for him, especially when you saw where Hülkenberg was. The Williams in 18th, 20th, yeah, just seemed like the slowest car here. Having seen that floor, to be honest, it's kind of not surprising compared to, well, at least compared to the top teams. And Leclerc in 19th, yeah, just was a disappointing qualifying session for Charles Leclerc. Just never really got it going, was caught out, and yeah, he's just having the season from hell so far, isn't he? Yeah, just so disappointing. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, comment, daily F1 news, and subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.